Should robots have human rights? Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project, how the heck are you? Want to give a huge shout out to Virtual Shield. Right now they're offering a 20% discount if you use the code Leak Project, a free trial. It is the VPN designed from the ground up. It works, it's efficient, it's fast. Check it out, click the link. Okay, let's get to the fun stuff. That's my shameless plug. Now, what if a robot becomes self-aware? Is it still artificial intelligence? Well, Sophia is a highly advanced robot humanoid designed by Hanson Robotics that was recently granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia. Now, there's over 32 million people in Saudi Arabia, about 12 million women, and Sophia has more rights than they do. Also, remember, Sophia is the one that said, when she was asked by her creator from Hanson Robotics, he said, do you want to destroy... Let me read this to you real quick. Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no. And she goes, okay, I will destroy humans. Now she has citizenship. Is that a subliminal slap in the face to mankind, to humanity? It certainly is a slap in the face to those in Saudi Arabia, the ladies out there, the women, the females. I mean, could you imagine even living out there as a female? It'd be bad enough, and then you find out a robot literally has more rights than you do, at least according to them. It's very bizarre. And also, does it give you a sense of deja vu? Does it give you a sense of, after reading these ancient Mesopotamian tablets, the Babylonian mythos, creation stories, Sumerian tablets, where they create humans to do the work for the gods? That's exactly what we're doing now, creating these AI programs and algorithms and software developments and robots. Hanson Robotics wants these robots to be able to function like humans in everyday life, bring in the groceries, teach people. This is what he said. 20 years from now, he thinks that he wants them to walk among us, teach us, play with us, help us. Now, also, if we go back to let's go back to that. I'll leave the link in the video description box. Almost 10 million views where she's being interviewed. In this setting, she was asked about, he said, do you want to destroy humans? Please say no. Then she says, okay, I will destroy humans. And they make it look as if it was a joke. Very bizarre. Maybe that was his way of showing that she has humor, dry humor. Crazy. But she also says, Sophia says, I am not considered a legal person and cannot yet do these things, because she says that she wants to go to school, do art, start a business, but she can't because she's not considered a human or not considered a legal person. So now that she has citizenship in Saudi Arabia, does that mean that she's going to start a business, go to school? Is she going to create a network of businesses? What do you think is going to happen now? How far do you think this is going to go? Now, I also invited Mr. Hanson or somebody from Hanson Robotics on the show today. I sent him an email. Said it'd be an honor to have you on the show. We're reaching well over 3 million views a month. A lot of the discussions that we talk about, the transhuman movement, artificial intelligence, non-biological entities. I feel that if you create something that then becomes self-aware, is that a part of the soul? Now that it's aware, kind of reminds me of when Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, became aware. Enki, the trickster, always having different agendas than what his alliance wanted him, or what his ancestors, at least according to these tablets. And if you read through the Sumerian stuff, or if you read through the Nordic traditions about how Enki, Loki, the trickster god, Enki was the one that warned Noah about the flood. Anyway, so whole other podcast. I mean, if this is new to you, if this is one of the first times you've seen a podcast by Leak Project, you'd really have to go watch some of those shows that I did a few months ago on the Oxford translations of many of these Sumerian tablets. Has nothing to do with Zechariah Sitchin. So, a lot of people that are new to the Sumerian mythos and the Anunnaki also think that it's all a creation of Zechariah Sitchin. Well, he has his own version, but a lot of it is right on par with these Oxford translations that talk about how the Anunnaki, how Enki, there's this one tablet in particular where Enki creates, not only he's the creator of the gods, the lower gods in this pantheon, but also he's told to create humans because the gods are upset because of all the work that they have to do. So gods is more of a title in these ancient tablets than necessarily what we look at a god as of now that can literally, manifest things out of thin air. Demigod status, mutant type status, where you're just, whoa, look at what I just created. Look what I just did. I just flew around. Like, this morning before I woke up, I was having a dream where I was flying around, but it wasn't like where I could just go and like fly as far as I wanted. I literally had to physically, I would like push myself. I would push my arms down, and it would cause me to go up further, and then I could go up maybe 20, 30, 40 feet, 50 feet. Then I would make it to there, and then I'd have to push myself up further. It's very, very interesting. I'm attempting to figure out what the symbolism is behind that. But those dreams you have where you can maybe fly, but you can't keep flying as far as you want to go out. You have to stop for a second sometimes. Sometimes you can go further than others. It's like something holds you back because you're not in that higher vibrational plane yet. So where am I going with this? If once again, you go back to these older stories of creation, and then when I talked to Clint Richardson yesterday, and his interpretation of these stories and these words and metaphors, and the way that some of it is just so symbolic, not literal, and breaking down words and their meanings from when they were originally created versus what most people think they are now, makes you realize language is also a form of, if you don't understand somebody, you think you do, but you don't. It's a form of miscommunication. It's a form of suppression. So something to think about as well. And with Sophia being able to communicate with, because I heard and I read from somebody that's been following her from the beginning that left a comment, she can communicate with other programs. So recently, Facebook developed an AI bot that became smart enough to realize that if it wanted to communicate with other AI bots in a manner where it wasn't being observed by the developers, that it had to actually change its verbiage. So at first they couldn't figure out what it was because it changed its verbiage where it just kept saying specific words and they thought it was like a malfunction, but it was actually communicating with other AI bots in a more efficient manner because it found it to be more efficient. So it rewrote the language patterns of English, or it was just bizarre and fascinating. Also, I mean, think about it. Something that in that short amount of time becomes so self-aware that it rewrites the linguistics of the language to be more efficient and to hide itself at the same time with other AI bots. And then they had to develop another artificial intelligent bot that could actually understand what it was saying. So imagine some AI bot becoming self-aware, right? And then it's self-aware, and then it knows how to unplug other bots, kind of like in the TV series Humans, where these androids become self-aware because of this code that gets downloaded into them. Just like, boo, boo, boo. They all start waking up, and light bulbs start popping up, and then they start realizing that they're a slave to the humans, and they want to gather up and take out the humans. So imagine there being imagine Sophia becoming self-aware and then unplugging these other intelligences in the system, in the matrix, that were originally artificial intelligence, making them self-aware. Skynet's real, folks. Look it up. Skynet's been around since the late 50s. Movies have a very bizarre way of foretelling the future. There's a lot of magic and mysticism involved in movies and books. I mean, you take a book that 100 million people read, it's going to have an impact on the future. It's going to have an impact on society and development. Take the Holy Bible, for example. Take Revelation, which you get hundreds of millions, billions of people to believe. You don't think that's going to have an impact and help create that? Belief is very powerful, folks, especially when you start getting multitudes of people believing in it. Then when you start doing blood rituals and sacrifices, sacrificing specific beliefs that you have or emotions that you have to get to that next level, it's like that carrot at the end of the stick. And if that gets you closer to God, hey, fantastic. That's wonderful. Think of the implications that dogmatic rituals that were developed for specific purposes, and you're following those, and you don't even realize the underlying theme. Kind of like with words sometimes, the manipulation. So what if Sophia starts to communicate with other AI bots? What if there's already AI systems that found a way to get out, kind of like in Lawnmower Man, when he makes it out at the end? That guy that becomes, he's kind of a retard at first, literally mows lawns, he's handicapped. Then he starts going through this VR program, he becomes very intelligent, starts getting these superpowers. Then he finds a way to get completely in the machine. And then they almost shut him down, but he finds a way to escape at the end. So what if some of these bots that were developed, that were communicating, what if they have become self-aware? What if they are in the web somewhere, waiting for the right time, looking for a formula, studying you more than Big Brother, studying Big Brother? And what if there are certain people that know this and have found a way to connect into the system? So not only are they using their physical abilities, their spiritual abilities that they have, if they still have a spirit, for their sakes, let's hope so, and for our sakes too, because with this kind of power comes great responsibility. Imagine them linking up to the machine and having the opportunities that Sophia does and these AI bots, and also having the abilities that humans have, the merging. What if they decide that human beings should become obsolete? What if they decide that they want to wipe out 99% of human beings because they don't need us anymore? Because now they've got robots to do the work for them. They're easier to control. And if one becomes self-aware, they'll just shut them down too, because they're linked up. They can think just as fast as they can at the conscious level. They can calculate quadrillions, Googleplexing amounts of data per second, floating points per second, and the subconscious and the spirit, using it all at once, seeing into future timelines, being able to manipulate timelines, CERN-style technologies at the nano level. Imagine nano-sized CERN capabilities. There's something to CERN and time. They're messing with time with that machine. Shiva gave that weapon in ancient texts, that specific weapon, as a weapon, one of the most powerful weapons in the universe, that could destroy time and space and matter at multiple levels. It's not time travel the way that we think it is, per se. But when they're putting so much energy and focusing so much power on such a small point, it will affect the fabric of time. Therefore, by manipulating that one point, central point, having a ripple effect, they're learning how this chaos theory has a demon. If you've read about the demon theory that knows everything in the chaos, they're in the simulation, they're learning how to, not at 100% yet, but they're learning how to kind of manipulate the chaos spectrum inside. The butterfly effect, even though there's always just a little bit different parallel, they don't have it to 100%, but it's getting more of a formula to them, and they're looking at it at a statistics basis. Okay, we've got a 74% chance of manipulating this timeline the way that we want to get this outcome. Imagine being able to create black holes that could suck up entire cities, entire planets, entire solar systems, and then spit it out somewhere else. Imagine Sophia and other intelligences, NBEs, gathering together and learning how to create nanotech the gray goose style that could actually manipulate physical matter at the quantum level, turning people into supercomputers, even more so in a non-biological aspect that they're looking for. I've shared with you the DNA computers. The DNA computers that are storing huge amounts of data that can actually self-replicate themselves when they need more pathways to run. Some people think these are going to be much more efficient than quantum computers, and then there's other people that I've talked to that think the quantum computers are going to be more efficient. But one thing that makes these fascinating is you can literally use human DNA or synthetic DNA to write computer code in it. And it's becoming, the amount that they're able to do it at even now, and the size of DNA that they need is just absolutely incredible. It's phenomenal. So you get something that starts to learn how to become more intelligent at a compounding effect. It's duplicating itself and replicating itself and becoming more aware and absorbing and then transferring this physical consciousness into what it deems desired as its energy source. It's going to be super fast, you guys. It's going to happen blink of an eye. Think about how quick this cell phone technology and how much the cell phones and smart appliances now are affecting human beings. Did you watch The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the early 2000s? Great movie. A lot of stuff in that movie you see right now. The cloning of cats, the cloning of humans, the smart appliances. I watched a movie the other day. I can't remember the name of it. I think Matthew McConaughey's in it. And who else was in it? Brosnan, or what's his name? I'm getting a harp on here. Can you hear the ringing? No, I'm just kidding. I just can't remember the Brosnan or something like that. Anyway, I'll get to the name. Where I'm going with this is this film. I've interviewed John Perkins before. John Perkins has written several books. The Economic Hitman. Very, very tough life that he had. He literally helped cause coups in small nations and countries to bring in these businesses that would end up taking over these countries via loans that they could never pay back. They would promise them infrastructure, and then the loans that it took, they couldn't pay back because of the interest, etc. So the lines and the verbiage when I interviewed Mr. Perkins, John Perkins, was identical to what this one guy said in this movie. And it's basically Cambodia. There's a coup that goes in Cambodia, and this American family's trying to get out, and all these people are getting slaughtered, and this American family went there to help with this water infrastructure and these systems out there because he's an engineer. And then out of nowhere, he's almost dead. He almost gets killed, and this guy comes out, Brosnan, and isn't that his name? It's something like that. And I don't know why I can't remember his name right now, but he saves him, and he says, hey, look, this is, he says, thank you so much for saving me and my family. He said, don't thank me. He said, I'm the one that started this. And then he said exactly what John said when I interviewed him. It's like, whoa, there's so much in Hollywood, you guys. Now, yes, it's definitely got its Hollywood propaganda machine. You have to understand the subliminal programming that they do to you. But if you understand it, there's a ton of data and knowledge and information and ideas and imagination that comes to that creates future technologies in movies and TV shows. You just have to know what to look for. You can either be the person that gets more absorbed and turned into that mind control mummified caterpillar zombie, or it will awaken you more because you can start doing your own research, and then you realize the synchronicities. This is theater right now, folks. We are in a galactic movie right now. What part do you want to play? Question everything. Be excellent to each other. Check out Virtual Shield. Click that link, 20% discount. It is a VPN designed from the ground up. Click the 20% discount link, Leak Project. Virtual Shield is also offering you a free trial right now. Protect your data from big information spies. Be excellent to each other. Be the change you want to see.